Good morning, everyone. Let me start with a simple question. What is the most dangerous sentence in the world? It is, I already know enough. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you start failing. The world is changing too fast for us to stay in one place. Many people fear making mistakes because they see failure as the end of the road. But in reality, mistakes are not the opposite of success, they're a part of it. Every great leader, entrepreneur, and innovator has failed, often more times than they can count. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle failure. Some people give up thinking their mistake defines them. Others analyze their failures, learn from them, and come back stronger. Think about it. When you succeed, you celebrate. But when you fail, you reflect. And reflection leads to growth. Each mistake is a lesson, an opportunity to understand what went wrong and how to improve. The greatest minds in history didn't just wake up one day and get everything right. They made errors, sometimes huge ones, but they kept moving forward. One of the most important things you can do is own your mistakes. Many people waste time blaming others, making excuses, or trying to cover up their failures. But the truth is, the sooner you take responsibility, the sooner you can learn. When you acknowledge a mistake, you gain control over it. It no longer holds you back. It pushes you forward. Mistakes also teach resilience. If you fail once and stop trying, you've let that failure win. But if you get back up, try again, and keep improving, you build the kind of strength that leads to long-term success. Every mistake you survive makes you stronger, smarter, and better prepared for the future. Most importantly, mistakes give you experience that no book, lecture, or classroom ever can. Real learning happens when you step out of theory and into reality. You can read 100 books on business, but until you actually start one and face challenges, you won't truly understand what it takes. You can study leadership for years, but until you lead and make mistakes along the way, you won't truly grow as a leader. The key is not just to learn from failure, but to learn quickly. Don't repeat the same mistakes over and over. If you fail, analyze why, adapt your approach, and try again with a better strategy. Keep experimenting, keep improving, and keep pushing forward. So instead of fearing mistakes, welcome them. They are proof that you are trying, growing, and moving towards something greater. The only real failure is refusing to learn from them. Books are powerful sources of knowledge, but they only tell part of the story. The real world is far more complex than what can be captured in words on a page. The greatest lessons often come from people, those who have lived through experiences, faced challenges, and found ways to overcome them. While books give you theories and ideas, people give you real-world insights, practical wisdom, and lessons that no textbook can teach. Imagine reading about leadership in a book versus sitting down with someone who has led a company through crises, made difficult decisions, and learned from both success and failure. The book might give you principles, but a conversation with an experienced leader will give you nuances, emotions, and real strategies that apply in ways you never expected. There is a depth to human experience that no book can fully capture. Different people can teach you different things. Entrepreneurs can teach you about risk-taking and resilience. Workers can teach you about discipline and dedication. Competitors can teach you about strategy and innovation. Even people outside your industry can provide fresh perspectives that lead to breakthroughs. The key is to stay curious, ask questions, and genuinely listen. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they already know enough. They assume that because they have read extensively or studied in a prestigious institution, they have all the answers. But the truth is, knowledge is endless, and the best way to expand your understanding is to learn from those around you. Everyone has a story, an experience, or a lesson that can add value to your life, if you are willing to listen. Humility is essential in this process. Many people only listen to those they consider successful while ignoring those they see as ordinary. But wisdom is not exclusive to the rich, famous, or highly educated. Some of the most valuable insights come from unexpected places. A struggling entrepreneur can teach you resilience. A taxi driver can teach you about patience and human nature. A child can remind you of the importance of curiosity and creativity. Learning from people also means surrounding yourself with the right individuals. If you spend time with those who inspire, challenge, and push you to grow, you will naturally become better. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with negativity, gossip, and small-minded thinking, it will hold you back. Choose your circle wisely because the people around you will shape your mindset and future. Finally, never be afraid to ask questions. Too often people hesitate to seek advice because they fear looking inexperienced or weak. But the smartest people are those who are unafraid to say, "I don't know, can you teach me?" True learning comes from having the courage to admit that there is always more to discover. So, while books are valuable, they should never replace the wisdom gained from real conversations and experiences. Keep reading, but also keep listening. Keep learning from experts, mentors, colleagues, competitors, and even strangers. Every person you meet has something to teach you if you are open to learning. Change is one of the most powerful forces in life. It is constant, inevitable, and unstoppable. Yet many people fear it, they resist it, hoping things will stay the same because familiarity feels safe. But the truth is, the world is moving forward every second, and those who refuse to change risk being left behind. The key to growth, success, and even survival is learning to embrace change instead of fighting it. Think about how quickly technology, business, and industries evolve. Jobs that existed 10 years ago are now obsolete, and new ones have emerged that no one could have predicted. The same applies to businesses. Companies that once dominated the market disappeared because they failed to adapt. On the other hand, those who welcomed change, innovated, and took risks became leaders. Change does not wait for anyone, and the ones who succeed are those who stay ahead of it. But embracing change is not just about businesses or industries. It is also personal. Many people remain stuck in the same mindset for years, afraid to try new things or step out of their comfort zones. They hold on to old habits, old ways of thinking, and old methods, believing that if something worked in the past, it will work forever. But that is not how life works. Growth only happens when we are willing to learn, adapt, and evolve. It is natural to feel uncomfortable with change. The unknown is scary, and stepping into new territory always comes with uncertainty. But discomfort is often a sign of progress. Every successful person has faced moments where they had to take risks, make tough decisions, and move forward without knowing what would happen next. Those who embrace these moments, instead of running from them, found new opportunities they never imagined. One of the best ways to embrace change is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing change as something threatening, see it as an opportunity. Every time something shifts in your life, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? When you start looking at change as a chance to improve, it no longer feels like an enemy, it becomes an ally. Another important step is to stay adaptable. The ability to adjust quickly in a changing environment is one of the greatest strengths anyone can have. This means being open to new skills, new ideas, and new ways of thinking. It means being flexible in your approach, understanding that what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. Surrounding yourself with people who embrace change is also essential. If you are around those who constantly resist new ideas, complain about the way things used to be, and refuse to grow, their mindset will affect you. But if you spend time with those who are constantly learning, innovating, and looking for opportunities, you will naturally develop the same attitude. Finally, taking action is the most critical part. Many people know they need to change, but keep waiting for the perfect time. They tell themselves, I'll start next month, or I'll wait until I'm ready, but the perfect moment never comes. The best way to embrace change is to start moving forward, even if you are not completely prepared. You will learn along the way. Change is not something to fear, it is something to welcome. It brings growth, opportunities, and new possibilities. The world belongs to those who are willing to adapt, learn, and evolve. The faster you embrace change, the faster you move toward success. Knowledge is important, but knowledge alone is not enough. Many people spend years studying, reading, and gathering information, yet they never apply what they learn. They attend seminars, take courses, watch videos, and listen to experts, but when it comes to taking real action, they hesitate. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect confidence. The result, they remain stuck in the same place, full of knowledge, but with little real-world experience. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, it is action. The world is filled with highly educated individuals who never achieve their dreams simply because they never take the first step. On the other hand, there are people with fewer resources, less knowledge, and no formal education, yet they build empires because they are not afraid to act. Many people believe they need to learn everything before they can start. They think they need to master every detail before they take the leap, but this is a trap. Learning is not something that happens only before action. Real learning happens during action. You will never know everything before you start, and you don't need to. The best way to learn is to begin, make mistakes, adjust, and keep moving forward. Think about the difference between someone who studies business for 5 years but never starts a business and someone who starts a small business and learns along the way. The first person might know all the theories about marketing, finance, and management, but the second person understands the real challenges, the unexpected problems, and the practical solutions. No book or lecture can fully prepare you for reality, only experience can. Taking action also builds confidence. Many people wait to feel confident before they act, but confidence does not come from theory. It comes from doing. The first time you try something new, it will feel uncomfortable. You might feel nervous, unsure, or even afraid. But as you take small steps, you start gaining experience, and that experience turns into confidence. The more you do, the more you learn, and the more prepared you feel. Mistakes are also a valuable part of the process. Many people are afraid to act because they fear making mistakes, but mistakes are not something to avoid. They are something to embrace. Every mistake teaches you a lesson that makes you stronger and wiser. The most successful people are not those who never make mistakes, but those who learn from them quickly and keep going. Another important aspect of learning through action is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and theories that work today might be outdated tomorrow. If you only rely on theoretical knowledge, you might find yourself unprepared for real-world challenges. But if you learn by doing, you develop the ability to adjust, adapt, and find solutions in any situation. Taking action does not mean acting recklessly. It means starting with what you know and improving along the way. It means making a plan but not waiting for a perfect plan. It means learning as you go rather than waiting until you think you are fully prepared. No one ever feels 100% ready, but those who succeed are the ones who start anyway. The best way to learn is to do. If you want to learn how to swim, you cannot just read about it. You have to get in the water. If you want to start a business, you cannot just study entrepreneurship. You have to start something, even if it is small. If you want to become a leader, you cannot just read leadership books. You have to start. Theory is important, but it only becomes powerful when combined with action. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It might look impressive, but it will never take you anywhere. If you truly want to grow, achieve, and succeed, stop waiting. Start doing. Learn with action, and the real lessons will come. Many people believe that intelligence alone is the key to success. They think that having a sharp mind, strong analytical skills, and deep knowledge is enough to achieve greatness. But in reality, the most successful and respected people in the world are not just those with big brains. They are those with big hearts. Knowledge can make you powerful, but kindness, empathy, and integrity make you truly great. Learning is not just about gaining information or improving your skills. It is also about growing as a person. If you learn without compassion, your knowledge can become a tool for selfishness, arrogance, or even harm. But if you combine intelligence with a big heart, you can use what you know to create value, uplift others, and make a real difference in the world. True learning is not just about how much you know, it is about how much you care. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing only on personal gain. They learn so they can earn more money, gain more power, or achieve higher status. But the people who leave the biggest impact are those who learn so they can give solutions to problems, give inspiration to others, and give hope to those who need it. When you learn with a big heart, your purpose shifts from how can I benefit to how can I help, and that shift in mindset makes all the difference. Success that is built only on intelligence is often short-lived. You might reach a high position or build a great business, but if you lack compassion, people will not trust or respect you. However, when you lead with both knowledge and kindness, people will support you, follow you, and believe in you. The most admired leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators in history were not just smart, they had strong values, empathy, and a sense of responsibility toward others. Having a big heart also means being humble enough to keep learning. Many people, once they become knowledgeable or successful, start believing they know everything. They stop listening, stop growing, and stop respecting the perspectives of others. But true wisdom comes from understanding that there is always more to learn, and that every person, no matter their background, status, or education, has something valuable to teach. When you approach learning with humility and an open heart, you gain deeper insights and build meaningful relationships. Another important aspect of learning with a big heart is emotional intelligence. Being book smart is one thing, but understanding people, their struggles, emotions, and motivations is what truly sets successful individuals apart. No matter how skilled or intelligent you are, if you cannot connect with people, inspire them, or earn their trust, your knowledge will have limited impact. Kindness and emotional intelligence also help you navigate challenges. The road to success is never smooth, and there will always be obstacles, setbacks, and difficult situations. A strong mind helps you think of solutions, but a big heart helps you handle these situations with patience, resilience, and grace. It allows you to stay positive, keep believing in yourself, and support those around you even when things get tough. Moreover, learning with a big heart means understanding that success is not just personal, it is collective. The best achievements in history were not accomplished by one person alone, but by teams, communities, and societies working together. When you learn not just for yourself, but for the benefit of others, you contribute to something bigger than yourself. You become a leader who empowers people, a business person who creates opportunities, or an innovator who solves real-world problems. At the end of the day, intelligence may help you climb the ladder of success, but it is your heart that determines how high you climb and how long you stay there. People may remember your skills, but they will never forget your kindness, your integrity, and the way you made them feel. So, as you continue to learn and grow, don't just focus on building a strong mind, build a strong heart, because that is what truly makes a difference. So, my friends, never stop learning, never stop growing. The best time to learn was yesterday. The second best time is today. Thank you.